Hello there, I want to tell you about the Stephenson's rocket in 1829. This is not the one. I've actually got a working model. The one you can see is a non-working model, one that I got from WD Models in this box here. I'll open it up in a minute. I'll tell you a bit about it. It's really hard to imagine what it's really been like at the dawn of the railway age. When we look at today's railways with comfortable modern trains running at speeds of over 100 miles an hour, we very much take them for granted. Generally speaking, trains run to a time on the tight schedules, and commuters get upset when their train's a few minutes late. It's therefore difficult to estimate the notion that a train travelling 30 miles in an hour and a half was once considered to have been reckless. In the early 19th century, trade between Britain and the outside world was booming. The docks at Liverpool had to be repeatedly extended to accommodate an increasing number of cargo ships, bringing in the raw materials like cotton and tobacco from America and taking out coal, salt and manufactured goods. Manchester had expanded too, with an increasing number of cotton mills hungry for raw materials both to power the machinery and to manufacture goods, but till the arrival of the railway, the only way to transport it along the rough roads or the canals. The canals had developed in the 18th century and were painfully slow, expensive and vulnerable to looting. Passengers were created for a good service of horse-drawn coaches, but the journey was uncomfortable and took too long for the 30 miles between the two principal Lancashire towns. A group of prominent Liverpool businessmen realised that a solution was needed and formed a committee with their colleagues in Manchester to do something about it. Profile: Stephenson's rocket. Robert Stephenson and Co, 4th Street Works, Newcastle upon Tyne. Built 1829. Purpose to complete the Rainhill Trials. Wheel arrangement 022. Weight: locomotive 4 tons. Driving wheels 4 foot 8 inches. Boiler pressure 50 psi. Cylinders 2 outside 8 inches times 17 inches. Tractive effort 820 pounds. Fuel coke. Maximum speed 28 miles an hour, and only one ever built. I'll show you a quick diagram of it. There you go. Steam blast. Used steam for the cylinders was dedicated to the chimney for increase the draws on the fire and made it burn more fiercely. The wheels, intrudedly, the diameter of the rocket's 2 driving wheels was 4 feet 8 inches, exactly the same to the gauge of the track. That's the tender there, got the footplate there, the cylinders there, and that's the chimney there. I'll give you a quick history of the Rainhill Trials. On April 20th, 1829, the board of the Liverpool and Manchester Railway passed a resolution to organise a public competition to determine whether locomotives were superior to stationary engines. A prize of £500 was on offer for the winning design. Straight away, a motley array of aspiring engineers, crackpots and centics and madcap inventors submitted their ideas, and although this created an amusing diversion, the director soon realised that the set of rules was needed. The stipulations and conditions on which the directors of the Liverpool and Manchester Railway offered a premium of £500 for the most improved locomotive engine. This included the conditions of the locomotive must consume their own smoke, have 2 safety valves, 1 self-acting, engines and boiler to be mounted on a spring, and 4 wheels locomotive not exceeding 4.5 tons, 6 wheels on those up to a maximum of 6 tons. Boiler pressure was not exceeding 50 psi, although the company reserved the right to test them up to 150 psi. A macroless pressure gauge must be fitted, and the construction cost must not exceed £550. Each locomotive would be expected to haul a weight of 3 tons for each ton of its own weight, for a total of 17 miles at a minimum rate of 10 miles an hour. Test section was 2 miles level section known as the Rainhill level, either side of which was a 1 in 96 gradient that was considered to be too steep for the locomotive. George and Robert Stephenson decided to base their entry on an improved version of the Lancashire which they had supplied to the Bolton and Leigh Railway, known as the workmen at Newcastle as the Premium Engine. Bit about it. So let's do the opening now. There you go. This is what number it is, 1 times R 3810. At this point, Sam Trains will say, let's get Rusty out. It's like my version of Rusty, if you like. The Hornby Rocket, Liverpool and Manchester Railway Stephenson Rocket, double O gauge twin pack. Nice little box. Railway Museum, it says on the side there. And it has a bit about it. Oh, it's just safety. The National Railway Museum is the largest railway museum in the world with exhibitions and collection illustrating over 300 years of British railway history. So if you want to go to the National Railway Museum, go there. And this is a Hornby Hobbies official product. As I said, R3810. Well, just suddenly noticed something. I cut here. Oh, there we go. It does say something about it. So it says, Rocket was designed and built as a direct response to the invention to the Rainhill Trials issued by the directors of Liverpool and Manchester Railway on April the 25th, 1829 for locomotive engine which shall be decided improvements on the hitherto construction subject to certain stipulations and conditions. Well, quite a lot to read there. I think I've already told you all about that anyway. So we've got the Stephenson's Rocket operating and maintenance instructions, about track cleaning, running hints, about lubrication. Oh, there's a figure. Well, there's 2 figures, so it shows you, and it is DC ready, so it tells you where to put the figures and how to put the chip in, and the safety notes. So that's that. Let's take a look. It's all in it. We've got 1 loco, 1 tender, 3 carriages. What we've got in this, we've got like chains. Don't know if you can see, yeah, like little miniature chains. Not sure where they go. And then we've got a little man there, all painted with a shovel. And then we've got a little man. Not sure what he's supposed to be doing. What was he? Let's look at instructions again. Hang on. It looks like he goes. Well, maybe he's the driver by the looks of things. Okay, so very small and fiddly. Very useful to have holes in the back. Not sure where the motor is, but not sure how we're going to put the men on it. So I think the man, I think there's little holes where they stand. Yeah, okay. Let's do the men in a minute, but be very careful. It's very small and fragile. And let's take a look at the carriages. The wheels seem to go around really quickly. No, well, there's, I think in the early days, with the carriages, they designed them, in a horse and cart. I think they designed the carriages like that, because they had no idea what a carriage would look like, a train carriage would look like. So they basically just got like a horse and carriage, and got the carriage, and just put some train wheels on it, and then put some buffers on it, and that's what they thought was a train carriage looked like in them days. And you can see there's a place where I think there was a man and the 2 men. One would be blowing a horn, and another one would sit on the back with some sort of blastic or something called, like a gun where it would like shoot loads of pellets at the same time. Liverpool and Manchester, and they've got little steps going up to there to see them. I think they're all the same. Oh dear, these wheels have come off, that's no good. You see these wheels, I'm going to have to do with that in a minute. Let's just take a look at the other 3rd carriage. Oh, the front wheels seem to be okay. These are a bit stuck. I'm going to have a look at these wheels. Okay, it was a little bit disappointing, but I managed to fix all the wheels. Oh, these are saying that was too quick. Managed to fix wheels and these come off again. It's just a matter of these wheels are, oh dear, just not good. I'm not too sure about that. I might have to return this. I'll just see how well these wheels go. But the trouble is I've been waiting months for this. So do I Could be, you know, do I send the whole back and wait a few more months, or do I put up with it? That's the question. No, it's just these front wheels and this one, but it's just, maybe I'll just put up with it. Just one set of wheels. Let's see. You know, I've got this one from that static model. It doesn't, hang on. Just sussed out what these links are for, because on here there are no couplings. See, that's what these are for. You have to use these chains, or these links, whatever you want to call them, and you have to see that there's a little hook. I don't know how well you can see that, but there's a little hook at both sides, front and back, a tiny little hook on each of these carriages. So this is going to be fun. I'm not sure how I'm going to, there's a tiny little hook thing on that. So I need one, so I need, hopefully there should be 1, 2, 3. Hopefully there should be 3 in there. So let's put this on the track and have some fun. I'm going to show you how to do one. I don't know how well you can see that, but on that little man's foot there's a tiny little spoke, and that's supposed to go, there's a tiny little hole, and it's supposed to go in there. So I don't know how well this is going to work. You kind of get the idea. I decided to start with my test track because I don't know how well it goes over the point, so I've kind of stuck the men on temporarily. So now I'm going to use these little chains in this little bag to somehow fix the carriages on. Right, this is really fiddly trying to fit these tiny little chains onto each other, because I think what they're trying to do is way in, was it 1829, whenever it was, I think they wanted us modellers to have the same experience as they did when they're trying to fix these on together. So it's all about the experience. Oop. See how I'm struggling trying to, it's so close, so fiddly. Okay, I've been trying for the last 10-20 minutes trying to fix these carriages onto this really fiddly little chain links. Really fiddly. Get one hook on, and try the hook on the other carriage, and it comes off again. Let's just give it a test run without carriages. Little man's gone. So I found that little man, he just fell off. Right, I'm going to try. So it can go quite fast. A good little runner. Look, you can see the pistons going around quite fast, so the pistons work quite well. Now I just want to show you something here. How out of place does this look? A Pullman coach next to the rocket. Let's try a little experiment. Oop. Struggling. No, that's not what I wanted to show you. Notice that how all these Pullman coaches got different names. Like this one, I've got quite a few of these Pullman coaches. Like this one happens to be called Rosemary. Now this carriage, one with the broken wheel, that one's called Wellington, that one's called Brown in the middle there, and that one's called Glore. I think that's Glore. So what I'm going to do here, I've got a slight slow, that's why I'm going to see how well you can push them instead of pulling them, because trying to fit these little chains really, as soon as you're trying to fit one it comes off again when you're trying to fix the next one on. So it seems to be able to push them. I'll have another go trying to connect them up, but it's just very fiddly. I'm going to see what it's looked like on the main track, see if it can, how it deals with the points. I've had to take the tunnels off because the funnel's too big for it. Seeming to be running quite well. Well, let's stop it and let's put some carriages on it. I still haven't managed to get it to use those little link things, so I'm going to have to let it push them instead of pull them. Wellington. Must be a bit of a slope there, uphill slope. It seems to struggle that bit. Once it gets past that corner, seems to be alright. Let's take one of the carriages off. It still seems to struggle on that corner. Doesn't like pushing them, does it? Anyway, you get the idea. I still haven't managed to, like I said, it's very difficult to get those little links to connect. I'm sure it is possible. Maybe I'll glue them, I'm not too sure. Anyway, that's my little review of the, to show you a close-up of one of the carriages. This is Wellington, as you can see. It is very detailed on the outside, like you've got the name Liverpool Manchester Railway Company, and like got the little steps, you've got buffers are not springable, you've got the little outside seats, and you've got some steps going up to the seat outside. I think maybe that's a luggage rack on the top, I would imagine. So these were the really early days. Maybe they're still highwaymen, perhaps, maybe, who would go around and, you know, like shoot at, because it wasn't very fast, the rocket. Also, I haven't managed to get the little man, the driver man, to stand on the plate too well. So anyway, that's the rocket. Close up there for you. So very fast without the carriage. That's the rocket there for you. I hope you enjoyed my little video about it. I'll see you in my next video. Don't forget to like and subscribe and comment below. Thank you. Bye.